And then what happens when they continue to avoid whether we're going to be in the city or in the country in retirement? What kind of problems does that create?
I think that they start to disengage from each other. And, you know, for many couples, maybe they're already disengaged. But unless they're able to have that conversation, they begin to get very polarized in their views and isolated within themselves. So that what they can find together in the partnership starts to break down, and you know, it's really a metaphor for other things. It's not just where should we live, it's really a metaphor. That's one aspect of it.
So probably the sooner that conversation comes up,
Right.
gives you, ends the surprise.
And also we found that sometimes, you know, people can just sort of fall into something by default, by not talking about it. But, you know, part of the premise of our book is that with good communication, people can really make more conscious and intentional decisions about how they want to live their life. And, you know, living where you live is one part of those conversations.
And I've heard a lot of couples now are, we've got a different movement. There's a bigger movement to stay around where the grandkids are. And is that a growing, say, problem or puzzle piece of that we maybe have to bring the kids into it too?
Absolutely. And in our mobile society, what we've seen happen a lot is that the couple may be on the East Coast and their children may be on the West Coast. And then they have to figure out, how are we going to stay connected to our children and to our grandchildren, which opens up this whole other conversation. People are doing more traveling back and forth if they have the resources.
We're going to move within 5 miles of the daughter so that we can be near our grandchildren. Is that the couple's decision, or do they have to bring the children in? How should that work?
Both. Both. I mean, there is the us decision, which is couples, but you know, couples may be somewhat divided on one wants to live near the grandchildren and, you know, the other doesn't. Plus, you know, sometimes kids don't want their parents to live so close by, and some do. And we are very much encouraging conversations with adult children, you know, really thinking about you know, kind of what makes sense for everybody. And, you know, we know of situations where people have moved cross country to be close to the children without talking with them. And
Surprise!
Surprise, and then either a job changes or it might just be too close.
Another aspect that you talked about was the finances. And what are the problems what's the puzzle pieces that couples have to figure out with finances that you found?
The financial piece of the puzzle is really one of the key pieces, but not the only piece, in that, you know, how you've handled your finances, if you have the money, is going to affect a lot of the lifestyle choices that you have. And the problem that we've seen a lot is that money is a very loaded issue for people, and a lot of people, you know, money, sex, and death are sort of
the biggies.
the biggies that are sort of taboos. And so we have exercises in the book of just helping couples think about what have been your money messages from the past. What does money mean to you? And we find it's helpful for each person to think about that and then to talk with their partner so that they can, you know, talk together about the meaning of money. And we really encourage people to talk with a financial planner, to really have a network of people that they work with, because money is a key piece. You know, if you don't have enough money, it may affect the timing of retirement. It may affect what kind of things that you can do, if you can travel. I mean, it really is a piece that, you know, kind of affects all of the other pieces.
I think that women and men both need to be responsible about knowing what their financial situation is, what their assets are, how they want to spend that money. Because often, I mean, we all know, often what happens is if the husband has a heart attack, dies, or becomes incapacitated, then it's really unfortunate when the wife says, I don't know where anything is, I don't know what to do, and panics. So
Yep.
that's another important conversation.
Yeah, probably the
Yeah.
probably the worst time to have to make the
That-
major
that's right.
decisions.
You don't want to be in that position.